Big day in New York as the New York Mets are announcing Buck Showalter as their next manager. He will replace Luis Rojas, whose contract was not renewed after just 2 seasons as the Mets manager. Showalter had 20 years of MLB experience under his belt. His last gig was with the Baltimore Orioles, who he managed from 2010 to 2018. He has the 24th most wins of any manager in Major League Baseball history, 9-14 in his career in the postseason. Showalter signing a 3-year deal with the Mets. And here is the GM of the Mets, Sandy Alderson, introducing Buck Showalter as their next manager.
I've known Buck for a long time. You all know him as a 3-time American League Manager of the Year, a very successful manager in a variety of different places and circumstances, including an expansion franchise in Arizona. Buck is going to be a great addition for us, a great addition to what already has been added to the Mets organization over the last part of 2021. And we're really looking forward to the 22 season.
Hey, thanks to everybody. It's a great honor to be here today with Angela, and just a heartfelt thank you to Steve and Sandy, and of course Billy and Alex too. Everybody. The Mets are very precious to them. The fans, they're precious to me. The things, it's a great charge to keep that we have ahead of us, and I just want everybody to know that it's going to be a priority, from day one, to put a product out there that everybody can be proud of. There's going to be people when we're on the West Coast staying up to 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning to see how the Mets did or do. And, I just want everybody to embrace that responsibility, and very excited about the potential for things this season and beyond. And, just about, Steve continues to eliminate excuses that we might have for things we can't do. I'm very excited about the analytical department and the things that they're going to bring for us to give us hopefully an advantage. And all the work Billy and I and Sandy are starting to put together, the coaching staff will take our time, and it's just it's got the potential to continue to be the great place that it is and was. So, not a lot of lip service. It's kind of a show me situation. And I just want everybody to know that the Mets are going to be something that's very precious to the people that we bring in. And it's a great responsibility that I and we will take very seriously every day. And there's ebbs and flows to the season, but the consistency of how we go about our business and the people we surround ourselves with and how we treat each other is going to be special. And I've missed being part of a team more than anything, and I'm looking forward to being a part of the Mets team. I'm very honored here today. Every situation, Steve's different, and you try to bring what the players need. You try to decide and figure out what the needs are, to reach their potential. And I think that's, it's not about someone adjusting to me, it's adjusting to the needs of the team. And, leaning on Sandy and Billy and a lot of people that are here. I think one of the mistakes people make is when they come into a situation and think everything there isn't good or has to be changed. That's a mistake, and that won't be done. There's some really quality people here that can be part of it. So I think slow down and not knee jerk. And, I purposely try to have a real clear mind about every player and trying to make up my own mind about things, but at the same time lean on people that I know more than I do. So there's no magic sprinkle dust. It's about winning baseball games. It's about that's really, it's like the chicken and the egg. What comes first? Everybody wants to use the word culture, but that's a multifaceted word in my mind. And there's a lot of dynamics that go into that. The good players part of it, I think ownership is going to be very strong in that backing. The other part, but then there's another part of it. We have to take it and make it work. It's got to be a team. And like I said before, that's what I've missed the most, is being part of a team and having everybody pulling in the same direction. So we'll see.
Buck Showalter is back, joined by his wife Angela there, announcing that he will be the next manager of the New York Mets. Now, Mets owner Steve Cohen, he isn't fooling around at all. Look at the list of these names of free agents that signed this offseason. Max Scherzer, 3-year, $130 million. He is an all-star starter. He left the Dodgers after one season, signed with the Mets on that 3-year contract. We also got outfielders Starling Marte and Mark Canha, as well as infielder Eduardo Escobar coming to the Mets. They are going to be looking good for next season. If we have a season, of course. Let's welcome in our former GM, Jim Bowden. All right. Is Buck Showalter the right man for the New York Mets job? What do you think, Jim?
Jenny, I think he is the right hire for this particular job at this particular time and this owner because of the 20 years of experience that he had. The fact he's won 3 Manager of the Year awards, and he's had a lot of challenges with different franchises. Is he the perfect manager? No, he's never won a playoff series. He's never won a World Series. And he can be a little bit overbearing at times. It's hard for him to stay in his own lane, but he is very good at detail, very good at preparation, very good at organization. And the Mets have been a laughingstock in baseball the last few years, and Buck Showalter brings respectability. You know, one of the things that you heard Sandy Alderson and Billy Epler say in the press conference is he separated himself because of his connectivity with people. And what they're talking about is the clubhouse people, the janitors, the general manager, the president, the players, the coaches, the owner. He does connect with people and communicates extremely well. And so you're not going to see the fires you've been seeing the last few years in New York. He knows how to handle situations. I think the other thing that really stood out to me in that press conference, Jenny, is he said it's not going to be lip service. You know, it's about winning games. And the owner, Steve Cohen, has made it very clear. He'll play checkbook baseball. He'll give everyone the resources, the ability to hire the right people. And then his expectations is to win. That's what he wants, is winning. He didn't want to have a lot of talk. And I think Buck Showalter understands that. The other thing I'll mention, too, is there's this false narrative around Buck Showalter that because he's old school and older, people wondered how he'll handle this generation of analytics. He said in the press conference that he will be sponge full of information. I'm not sure what he meant by that word, Jenny, but I do understand the overall meaning, which is absolutely he will absorb every analytic, every information that he is given to make the right decisions. So I think based on the other candidates and based on where the Mets are, this was the right hire. But I will say this, the other 2 finalists, Matt Quintero, the bench coach in Tampa, and Joe Espada, the bench coach in Houston, both will be really good managers someday and will get opportunities probably in the next year or 2. But right now, the Mets couldn't hire a rookie manager again. They needed a veteran, and Buck Showalter will give them stability and continuity.
Before we let you go, you've confirmed that the Oakland A's have hired Mark Kotsay as their new manager. Kotsay was Oakland's third base coach last season, former bench coach with the Athletics. Now takes over for Bob Melvin, who left to go manage the San Diego Padres. What do you think of that move there?
Jenny, I think it's, the right hire for Oakland. Why? Because Mark Kotsay has done everything in that organization, right? Third base coach, bench coach, quality control coach, outfield coach. But more importantly, his close relationship with President Billy Beane and GM David Force, because the front office in Oakland really is heavily involved in how a manager manages, including writing the lineup sometimes on a daily basis. Mark's been in Oakland long enough with those guys that he understands the collaborative approach of leadership in Oakland, and so he fits perfectly there. And I think Oakland, they could have hired from outside the organization, but I'm not sure they would have had the relationship that front office needs with a manager. Mark knows what to expect. He's been coaching them for quite some time, so I think it's a really good fit. And then finally, he competes on a daily basis, and he's a developer, and that's really what Oakland needs, because they're going to be trading veteran players. They're going to rebuild a little bit this offseason. They need someone that understands that process, and I think Mark Kotsay understands it, embraces it, and will work well there.
2 solid hires in the baseball world. Jim Bowden, thank you for joining us here on CBS Sports HQ. Now, we've talked about some of the moves this offseason and looking at the New York Mets and the payroll that comes down. When you get new players, they cost a lot of money, especially when you're getting a player like Max Scherzer, for example. So you see the New York Mets, the top of the highest payroll in Major League Baseball this upcoming season. It'll be interesting to see how they play out on the field.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.